let's talk about Kyrie Irving. Have you seen Stephen A's take on this?
Uh, Refresh me and whoever's watching.
It is idiotic that this man is requesting a trade right now because he didn't get an extension. Wow, is it the year of the tantrum? Is that what's going on at the moment? Yeah, this started off Ben Simmons last year. His feelings got hurt. Then, Kyrie's, mental health here is probably dipping because, he's not getting a contract extension that he wanted, even though he hasn't showed up for work more than half the time. And you wonder why his employees are a little bit uncertain whether they want to give him millions and millions of dollars and several more years to see him rock up to work about 40% of the time at the very best. All right. So, and now he wants to be traded. So, I don't know where would he go? Who wants him? And I guess let's be clear, players want him. Okay, sorry, teams want him. Okay, and probably some players want him too because he can play. Okay, and there's some irony here because the NBA seems like be a bit of a full circle league, right? Yeah, you start here. D Wade, was a Miami Heat legend. Then he went around the circus a bit, and then he ended up back there. And same with KG, and hey, it's like let's get all the pals all back together again and things like that. So there's only one landing spot ultimately that he's going to go here that actually makes any sense. I don't know, but what do you think?
It fluctuates, right? So I guess the way that I've approached this, I think Kyrie, we all acknowledge that Kyrie's got some interesting perspectives on the world. I think he's very aware of his legacy, right? So Kyrie's not going to,
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
even if
whoa,
he
whoa!
locked in.
Hold on a sec. Last take we had last week, you just said players don't even consider their legacy, and then now you're
Yeah,
saying
right.
Kyrie is the mindful player that actually thinks about his
I think he
legacy.
is. I think he is, right? And also, we don't have enough viewers for this to be a contradiction. So if you don't point it out, I don't think anyone knows that, right? But I'd say he's quite conscious of it. I think he understands he has a championship. He's quite renowned for being very skilled, but he's a little bit controversial. That's never going to change, right? Let's say he locked in and he committed to a workplace and stayed on a team for 7 more years and won a championship or two. We are not going to remove the labels that we've applied to him by this point. They stick with him, right? This is a phase of his career that he's had for a good extended period of time now. He gets to have the clutch shot. He gets to have the 3-1 with LeBron. He gets to have, one of the greatest ball handlers of all time and great finisher, but he also has all this stuff. He knows that. So this is a business decision. Didn't get the extension. You know what? I'm playing really well right now. Someone might take a flyer on me and give me an extension. Might as well shoot my shot, right?
So does his legacy involve winning? Because the Nets are actually relevant again, and when KD comes back, there's no reason why they can't, make some noise in the East. Like I don't know, where's he hoping to go? The Lakers, and then he can have a bit of extra holiday time in July. Is that what it is?
I think there's a take within this. Something is up with the Nets, right? So you have a year between James Harden asking for a trade and now Kyrie asking for a trade, and then obviously KD did in the offseason. They've acquired Ben Simmons, clearly not the same player. That's quite apparent. And Steve Nash gets fired. Very tumultuous, right? So something's going on here that is causing these players to do that. Now, all right, yeah, volatile superstars keep pulling these things, but as someone who's done this in my own work environment once before, let's maybe give them some credit. You just don't do these things if you're happy, right? You don't do things if you're happy and content and you feel successful. Now they're having on-court success, but clearly there is a culture thing here that's not making him feel successful, right? And they've given him a contract, supposedly had a caveat that the money would kick in if they could win a title within the frame. And he felt that that was quite offensive. So he's obviously declined that completely. And from a business standpoint, that's quite strategic because only one team out of 30 is going to win the championship, and a lot can happen that can prevent you from doing that. He knows his prior history. He knows that he's a bit damaged. He knows that he doesn't show up for work all the time, but he's probably looking at the Clippers with two superstars that don't play all the time. He's looking at Golden State that's got Draymond and Clay locked up in long-term deals that no longer really perform to those deals. And history kind of proves there is going to be a bad deal in the NBA. He's talented enough to think I could get one of those deals. And so if he forces his way to the Lakers and they give him 20 million, 25 million a season, and he ends up stinking, he don't care, right? He's won his ring. He won one of the hardest rings regarded of all time. He's got the skills. He's going to go down. He's really, in my opinion, a very successful version of what Stephen Marbury was, right? He just had all of the success that Stephen Marbury could never capture.
Where do you think he's going to end up?
Where
And
do I
remember,
think he's going to end up?
just remember, and I don't know, actually, maybe you don't remember this. And remember, we don't have enough fans to remind us, every day about what we said 6 months ago, right? You said this would be Kyrie's last season in the NBA.
I did.
You did.
And
So where's he going to end up?
I want to hedge it on two. I think the Lakers take is too obvious, right? And I don't know if that's going to be what comes to fruition. A part of me really worries about saying this out loud, but it actually does feel somewhat likely. I think the Phoenix would do something stupid here and try to get him. I actually think Phoenix would try to do something here because there were
I,
talks for the
I know,
KD thing.
I know you're in the conversation.
That's, but I actually think they understand they're in a bit of a slide. Chris Paul needs to go, right? According to the internal things. No, not from a culture standpoint, but they think an on-court performance thing. And there's a new owner who's probably going to try to take a swing for the fences. It's going to blow up on them. I don't think Kyrie will re-sign in Phoenix and we don't get anything out of it. But I reckon we could do something stupid like that. But if not, then I think he stays with the Nets. They call his bluff, and he either A is just kind of left out of the league and it gets picked up on a real minimum contract, or B, someone like the Lakers signs him in the offseason. I actually don't think the trade will be successful. And if it is, it's going to be to a team like Phoenix that swings for the fences and it like they should.
I think to me, there's only one trade that actually makes sense to this team, and because they're in a win now mode, and they have superstars that need a Kyrie Irving, and this is the weakest spot on the roster here, and I'm talking about the Clippers. If he goes to the Clippers, all right, by the trade deadline this year, he elevates the Clippers long as they're healthy. Okay, and that's the huge question always around PG and Kawhi at the moment. Long as they're healthy, okay, who's wanting to play the Clippers with Kawhi, PG, and Kawhi Leonard, all right, in the playoffs? Nobody. All right, so if they can get the right pieces here that Brooklyn will bite on, that seems like the only team to me that makes any sense that Kyrie actually will fit what a team is looking for. And look, I don't know,
Well,
you know,
that's Steve Ballmer swinging for the fences, right? That's Steve Ballmer basically saying this team's been pretty disappointing up until this point. We're going to swing for this and go for this one season because the reality is, if someone on the West gets Kyrie, we can comfortably say, well, that reshapes the balance of the West because the West is essentially like Denver is here and everybody else is figuring out what they're going to be or they're vying for that second position. But even then, Denver, you could see them like a take within a take here. I compared Jokic to having a Dirk career. I wouldn't be shocked if the eighth seed is really strong if they give Denver a run for their money and even eliminate them by the end of the first round.
Yo, this is Two Guys with Spare Time. I'm Faz, this is Nick. You're probably a basketball fan like us, so hopefully you can throw us an assist in giving our video a like and subscribing to our channel.
And if you got thoughts, feelings, or even some suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And thank you for using your spare time to watch us in our spare time.